I made my daughter cry on Christmas as I laughed at her. My daughter, Velma, never cried. Not since her birth, when she let out more of a yelp when brought into the world rather than a full-on baby cry. The doctors mentioned how it was common for babies to have different reactions, or the famous line that every baby is different. She should grow out of her not crying, multiple doctors told us. When she came home, Velma still wouldn't cry. Her scrunched face meant the diaper needed a change. A smacking of the lips meant she was hungry. Hands fisted meant she would want attention. As she grew, she would point at what she wanted. Then she started speaking, and yet, still no crying, temper tantrums, nothing. It would drive my wife nuts. What if she's autistic, or she has a medical condition? She would tell me in our bedroom behind closed doors. I always reassured her. Nothing is wrong with Velma. She just hasn't found a need to cry. Though, I started to plan for her third Christmas. I was going to make her cry. The problem was nothing seemed to faze her. I took her Christmas shopping in November and made sure to walk past the toy section. Daddy, can I get a doll? Velma asked as she tugged at my sleeve from the shopping cart seat. Not today, I responded as carelessly as I could. All Velma did was nod. Okay, Daddy. I frowned in thought. Why was she so level-headed? Heck, her terrible twos were more like tone twos. By that, I mean one could barely hear her even with her calm tone of voice. It had only raised to hearing level when she really needed attention. I tried to scare her in the beginning of December. I tried dark nights without a nightlight. Velma's response was, "The dark sky holds the stars and moon, Daddy. It's not scary, it's pretty." And she turned under her blankets to look out her window with a happy smile. I had been terrified of the dark till my preteen stage. All I did was state, "I'm glad you're not scared, Velma." A week later, there was a spider that my wife was screaming at. What did Velma do? "It's okay, Mommy," and picked the daddy long legs up and wobbled it outside. I just slapped my face with my hand. 5 days before Christmas, I was outside with Velma playing. Then I let out a girly scream at the sight of a common garden snake. "No, Daddy," Velma said calmly with a disappointed tone. She then gently picked the snake up. "I'm going to name it Poppy." Velma giggled and went inside. I stared at Velma's back with horrified eyes. I ran after her. "No, no, no!" Nothing dazed Velma, and she thought all animals were just that. I even tried 3 days before Christmas with a horror movie. All she did was giggle and clap her hands at the jump scares and gore. I was the one left with nightmares. I couldn't help the jealous glance with a frown at Velma getting a good night's rest, and here I was without sleep. Was my child broken? So what? If she has no fear and is generally happy, my wife said with a glare pointedly at me. Explain Poppy then. I was still freaked at having a snake in the house. "She wants a pet. Husband," my wife snarled at me before turning on her heel and marched away angrily. My eyes widened as it finally clicked in my mind. Velma was lonely. Christmas Day arrived, and I made sure all cameras would be centered when I woke up early. Then my wife joined me with a kiss on the cheek. Velma walked in with Poppy wrapped around her wrist. "Velma," I say, as she looks at me. "Yes, Daddy?" Velma asked, looking up at me. "You have to let Poppy go. Otherwise, you can't have your Christmas gift," I said sternly. "Why?" She tilts her head. I smirk as a little woof is heard under the tree. "Because you can't take care of 2 pets," I responded. Velma immediately ran and put Poppy outside in the grass. Then she ran inside and grabbed a hold of the bloodhound puppy. For the first time, she started crying. My wife gasped at Velma's reaction. I just smiled serenely as I started laughing at Velma and the puppy. It had only taken 3 years to get Velma to cry. 2 weeks later, the pair were inseparable. Then there was a knock at the door. "Take this runt," the breeder said, dropping the tiny bloodhound puppy in the doorway before walking away. "Hey, wait a minute," I called out. Velma, the manipulative little devil, just hugged the puppy and looked at me. She started crying. "We can't have the puppy, you got me be lonely, Daddy." I created a monster with tears as weapons as I mutter, "Fine." The tears of Velma cleared in an instant, and I had a horrible feeling Velma would make a great actress.